The very solutions it found, like easy money, have come back to bite the system in the rear end. The unintended, the undesired consequences are now accumulating, and the play, what to do, how to go, is being constricted and constrained at every way. And I believe, without being mystical, I believe that somewhere in the American mentality, deflected and confused and distorted as the media and others make it, somewhere they get it. That we're confronted by these two, I'm trying to be polite, these two candidates. Is this really, is this the best this country can do? These two? These two? Wow. And I think a large number of Americans, we'll see what the votes look like, but a large number of Americans are shaking their head, and they know somewhere that there's a disconnect between this theater that we have every day now and the problems that are part of our lives that we're living through. It is an extraordinary coming to a crunch. Capitalism is just a system. It's just a particular way of doing things. This is my conclusion. Slavery was another kind of economic system. Feudalism was another kind of economic system. In slavery, one person was literally the property of another, like a donkey or a machine. It existed in many parts of the world for hundreds, in some cases thousands of years. It is a system that was born, that evolved over time, and then it died. It was pushed away. It finished. Feudalism came afterward. Feudalism, the lord and the serf instead of the master and the slave. The lord and the serf, a different relationship. It was born, it evolved, it died. The logical expectation is that capitalism was born, evolved, and ... And the question that once you understand, then the question has to be asked now but always. Is that what's happening? Is it over? And what in the world would that mean? And where do we go next? And what's the alternative? Because, you know, the end of slavery wasn't peaceful. And the end of feudalism wasn't. That's when capitalism was born in Europe. Remember? Remember the young capitalist businessmen and bankers of France? They took the Louis and they took him to a place and they separated him from his head. And that was the kind of a very symbolic end of feudalism, and never quite recovered from that activity. So it's a tough situation, and I think obviously I don't know what's going to happen any better than anybody else does. I can't predict the future. But I can tell you, I've never seen this system that I've been studying all my life in this level of, it's like a chess game that's been reduced to only a few pieces left, and you realize that the guy or the woman you're playing with knows how to play this better than you do because there are no moves left. They're really, you can't, every time you think of going this way or this, but each time you think of a move to make, you can see how the other player is going to get you that way. And I notice among my friends who are right-wingers, economists, or center, or lefties like me, we don't agree on how we got into this mess, and we don't agree on how to get out of it. But we do agree that none of us have ever seen an economic system boxed in the way this one has boxed itself in. And of course, the scary risk is that when you're squeezed like that, when you're blocked, you take extreme measures. Wars are ways of getting out of this kind of situation. Fascism, a radical top-down reorganization of the economy, is a temptation. And you see right-wing political movements and parties in our country and, in many other countries beginning to